Alex, a share of the points. Your thoughts?
I thought it was two teams trying to win the game. I felt like it was quite evenly balanced. I thought that the start obviously was a really poor start from us, coming from our own kind of error really, in terms of the delivery of the free kick and a counter, which is disappointing. But after that, I felt like that our intensity was much better. We played forward more. We had runners in behind. We did all the things that we talk about, and scored a fantastic goal. And I just felt after that we were going to be the team that went on to win. I think we restricted them to 4 shots. A team that last week they're 26. We've restricted them to and limited them to no real chances. And I thought it was us that was on the front foot. We started to see Dan Kemp picking the ball up and driving, and a couple of little chances, slide balls. But it just didn't drop for us today in terms of that. But I think all in all, you look back at the game and 1-1, two teams that are trying to win. Probably an entertaining game for everybody to watch.
It was a good response, wasn't it, from going that early goal down, because it'd been easy for heads to drop when Bradford were coming at you.
Yeah, I think that's 10 points now from a losing position. Whereas I think that's, for me, we've come a long way since last year, because we didn't do that very well last year, and I think the manner of the goal will disappoint everyone in the changing room, because we don't concede goals like that. That's not what we're about. But you always ask for character, in any game, especially when you go down 1-0. And we saw that. The reply was tops. We saw it late on with Harvey that within a few minutes we're back in level terms. So shows the character of the group to keep pushing. And like I say, I thought that as we restricted them to limited chance, I thought it was going to be us that went on to win it. But wasn't to be, and we have to take the point. Still unbeaten at home, so it's been a fantastic start here. And we have to, again, I always say it, you have to learn from every game. We learned from last week. It wasn't us last week at Lincoln. We didn't perform to our levels, and if you don't do that, you get punished. Today we performed, we ran, we worked, we did everything to try and win the game, and that's all you can ask.
Some strike from Harvey.
Yeah, he's in a really good place. He's we see that every day in training now. He's in a really good place, and I think that when confidence and belief grows for Harvey, we've seen his talents now starting to come out. I actually thought, in terms of on the ball, we didn't see as much as what we have seen Harvey in recent weeks, but he's now learnt that the dark arts of football in terms of first contact, second balls, duels. He's learnt all of those, which has made him a real key part of this football team. So delighted for him to get a goal, and long may that continue.
And I think a big shout out to Jasper Pattenden as well, who I thought was tremendous.
Yeah, I think last week it was put into the fire a little bit away from home at Lincoln. It's always going to be a tough game for him to come into. But I thought today he dealt with situations we know where they're dangerous. We know they're wide players and wing backs are dangerous. But I thought that throughout the whole game, I thought you watch him grow actually. And I thought that second half they're trying to put diagonals with Big and Cook on him, and he's winning headers. That's why we signed him here, because he's very resilient. He's experienced now at this level in terms of from Wickham last year, and I thought he came in and did a really top performance today, aided by Robbo in front of him. I thought his work rate was excellent for him as well. They have to work in pairs, and I thought both of them today worked extremely hard to make sure we got the result.
2 weeks ago, obviously top of the table, and you've come into these two big games, and there you are, still with a share of the points at the top. It's some return from your side.
Yeah, they're working extremely hard, and I think that we have to really be careful. That we had a bump last week in the road, absolutely. We didn't play very well, but we lost 1-0, and we didn't perform. Right, it was. So we have to look at that and accept that might happen, but it's how we bounce back from that. We wanted to win today. We worked really hard this week to really get in our messages to win the game, but it wasn't to be. But these players are working extremely hard. Everyone is the staff to make sure that we get points now on the board, and that's all we're doing. That's what we're achieving. We're putting points on the board. We're growing. We're hopefully improving. We're seeing different signs of different players. So we just have to make sure that we just stay nice and focused and nice and humble in terms of us, and make sure that we just pick up as many points as we can. we've got FA Cup next week, which is really important to us, and then we go to Reading live on Sky on Thursday. So for us, right, the next league game is a big game. We can be top potentially. So let's aim for the next one. Let's aim for 3 points in that game. And but first and foremost, our shift is, our focus shifts, to the FA Cup now, and that's a really important game for us.
Thanks, Alex.
Cheers, mate.